So today we're going to look at implicit versus explicit costs, economic and accounting profit, and profit maximization. First, we're going to look at implicit costs. Implicit costs are the opportunity cost that firms pay for using their own resources. For example, the foregone wage of choosing one job than another. Explicit costs are the out-of-pocket payments made by firms for resources to make the product, so like rent, wages, material, and bills. With this in mind, let's look at economic profit and accounting profit. Economists calculate profit by including both the explicit costs and implicit costs. These are called economic profit. To find economic profit, subtract the total revenue with the economic costs, which are implicit costs and explicit costs. On the other hand, accountants calculate profit by including only the explicit costs. This is called accounting profit. To find accounting profit, subtract the total revenue by the accounting costs, which are only explicit costs. Now let's do a practice problem. Doug left his job as an engineer earning $9,000 a month to open a dessert shop. Last month, he sold 2,000 muffins for $1 each, 1,000 ice cream for $3 each, and 500 shortcakes for $6 each. His other expenses, such as labor, ingredients, and rent, add up to $7,000 a month. Next, we're going to look at the questions. So, what is Doug's accounting profit? What is Doug's economic profit? And should Doug quit his dessert shop and go back to being an engineer? So, Doug's implicit costs would be the $9,000 a month, and his explicit costs would be the $7,000 a month. To calculate Doug's total revenue, add the 2,000 muffins times $1 with 1,000 ice creams for $3 and the 500 shortcakes for $6. That would equal to $2,000 plus $3,000 plus $3,000, which would be $8,000. So, to calculate Doug's accounting profits, going back to the notes before, would be total revenue minus the accounting costs, which would only be the explicit costs. So, it would be total revenue minus the explicit costs, which would be the $8,000 minus the $7,000, which would result in $1,000 of profit. So in accounting profit, there is actually $1,000 of profit. But when you're calculating Doug's economic profit, then it would be the total revenue minus economic cost, which is implicit and explicit costs. So that would be the total revenue minus the explicit costs and the implicit costs, which would be the $8,000 minus the $7,000 plus the $9,000. So that would result in a $8,000 minus $16,000, which would be a loss of $8,000. In the accounting profit, there would be a profit of $1,000, but a loss in the economic profit. So to answer our questions, the accounting profit would be $1,000, and then the economic profit would be a negative $8,000. And yes, Doug should quit his dessert shop and go back to being an engineer. Next, let's look at profit maximization. So, Table A represents a firm in perfect competition. Assume the firms sell their goods for a price of $5 per unit. First, let's look at fixed costs. Since a fixed cost is the same, the price would be the same for all of the quantities. And since variable cost is given, let's look at the total cost. The total cost is the fixed cost plus variable cost. And for quantity 0, there would only be a fixed cost, so the total cost would be $4 also. The marginal cost is the additional cost after each unit. Next, the marginal revenue, which is $5 per unit, would be all the same for each quantity. And for the total revenue, you would multiply the marginal revenue with the quantity. So $5, $10, $15, and so on. Next, to calculate AVC, which is average variable cost, you would divide the variable cost with the quantity. So $4, $3, $2.67, $2.75, $3, and $3.5. For the average fixed cost, divide the fixed cost with the quantity. Last but not least, for the average total cost, divide the total cost by the quantity. So to answer our questions, the profit maximizing quantity would be MR equals MC, and MR is $5. So we're going to find the quantity that the marginal cost is closest to $5, which is the $4 and the fifth quantity. So the $4 in the marginal cost is closest to the $5 for the marginal revenue. The total revenue at this quantity would be $25. And to find total profit, subtract the total revenue by the total cost, which would be $25 minus the $19, which is $6 of profit. To summarize, the profit maximizing quantity is $5, total revenue of $25, and the total profit of $6. Thank you for watching. I enjoyed making this, but I will study hard so that I won't have to do another redo again.